10 sports rich people follow that you don't. Rich individuals are doing things differently than the rest of us when it comes to sports. Rich people watch sports to become better investors and increase their fortune, while the rest of us watch for amusement. In light of this, let's examine in great detail the sports that the affluent tend to follow closely. Number 1. American football. First, let's establish this. The National Football League (NFL) is the most profitable sports in America. The trend has been an annual rise. It was projected that in 2021, NFL franchises would earn a combined total of more than $15 billion. If that's not convincing enough, think about how much money the league made on commercials during the Super Bowl last year. About $450 million, while the average Americans is to blame. The people are crazy about the football. Individuals are extremely loyal to their teams. They'll buy hundreds of tickets and thousands of merchandise items to watch at home. These wealthy investors sit in their skyboxes and conduct businesses while the average fans yell and cheer from the stands below. It's their go-to pastime of choice. Number 2. Skiing. Skiing vacation in the Alps, complete with 5-star accommodation and gourmet meals, are not a fabrication. Skiing appeals to the wealthy for a number of reasons. It's out of most people's price range, takes place in opulent resorts, and is highly selective. This means you'll be able to mingle with people who share your interests. No one will approach you for help unless they have something of equal value to give. However, there are a number of reasons why the wealthy enjoy the winter activity. The first order of business is successful business owners love it because it teaches the kind of methodological self-control that is essential to building a successful company and reaping its rewards. Additionally, businesses are inspired by these sportsmen since they're always striving to do the same thing in their own unique ways. Hold your breath for the number 9, but let's have a look at number 3. Car racing. Yes, you heard me right, it's car racing. What you're going to say is already anticipated. We share your enthusiasm for Formula 1 racing. However, for the multi-millionaire and billionaire, there's more to motor racing than watching versus a track and drifting and attempting to beat Hamilton. It's more akin to conducting market research actually. Formula 1 races are the equivalent of Super Bowl in American football. The competition is exciting and absorbing, and it also provides a fantastic venue for companies to promote their products and services. Whenever you watch a race in the future, keep an eye out for the various banners that appear on the track, the cars, and the drivers' uniforms. Number 4. Obviously, horse riding and racing. It should go without saying that this sector of sporting industry is massive, opulent, and lucrative. It can cost from about $100,000 to $300,000 to purchase a thoroughbred horse and another $50,000 per year to keep the horse healthy and happy. This is why equestrian events were often reserved for the elite, even before they became popular. Almost everybody with a few bucks to spare may afford to wager on their preferred breed. However, the wealthy aren't participating in horse betting. What's happening is that they are purchasing them. Reason being that owning and racing them is unquestionably a lucrative enterprise. A lucrative enterprise in 2020. The prize pool for the Everest horse race in Sydney, Australia reached at least $15 million, making it the richest race on turf in the world. Number 5, you might not be expecting it, but yes, it's cricket. I can see why some might find this amusing. Exactly why do you think that is? If you know, why despite cricket's widespread appeal has it excluded from every Summer Olympics since 1900? Because France and England would only field a two-man team? However, it is hoped that it will be featured in the Los Angeles Games in 2028. However, this is precisely what has made cricket so well linked among the world's billionaires up until this point. In terms of frequency, it is extremely unusual. But what are the actual guidelines for this game? At the outset, you'll need two squads totaling 21 people. The side that is not at bat is termed the fielding team, and the team that is batting is called, you're correct, the group up to bat. The fundamental objective of this sport is to bowl the ball so that it breaks the striker's wicket. It has certain similarities to baseball, but there are also some key differences. Number 6. Ice hockey. You would be wrong to suppose that hockey, Canada's national winter sport, is simple to learn. Consider this: putting on skates and racing around the ice while trying to hit a moving puck with a stick while dodging the opposition's defenders and avoiding the boards can be quite a challenge. However, the most accomplished players can make it look as brutally graceful as a modern interpretation of Swan Lake. You may assume that a high-quality equipment for a contact sport of this size would be prohibitively costly. However, this is not the reason that billionaires are taking notice. As an owner, you can make a lot of money in this industry. The 2022 Winter Olympics will be held in China, which has piqued the interest of China's billionaires in the NHL. Many of the league's finest players will be competing for countries like Canada, United States, Russia, Finland, and Sweden. For the next 2021 NHL season, Canadan Connor McDavid will earn $16.4 million, making him the highest paid player in the league. Number 9 is just around the corner, so sit back and let's have a look at number 7. Number 7. Fencing. Fencing is a very refined sport for the noble origins in the education of knights in the use of bladed weapons. Both fencers and their opponents grip a sword called an epee and use it for both attacking and defense. While the sport's roots may be traced back to ancient Egypt, it didn't gain widespread popularity until the late 19th century, and it wasn't until 1896 that fencing for men was included in the Olympic Games. In 1924, women's fencing was officially recognized as an Olympic sport and was added. I guess it's better late than never. Fencing may have begun a form of nighttime training, but these days it's more of a spectacular sport for the wealthy, who are drawn to it because of its association with nobility and aristocracy. And shockingly, professional fencers don't make that much, only approximately $37,000, which is tiny as compared to $16.4 million that Connor McDavid earns annually. Number 8. Lacrosse. We cover Canada's official winter sport, and while a lot of folks don't realize it, lacrosse is the country's national summer sport, perhaps because it's like hockey. The team sport is played on a grass using a rocket-like net attached to the top of long-handled stick in order to catch and transport small, heavy rubber ball from one side of the field to the other. In the 13th century, when the sport first began, crowds of up to 500 people would participate at once, greatly increasing the risk of serious injury or even death. However, throughout time, lacrosse evolved into a method of war preparation, as its participants, many of whom were soldiers, honed their physical and mental fortitude in preparation of the field. Men and women now form teams of 10 and 12 members respectively. Both former lacrosse players, Chase Coleman $10.3 billion and Joe Tasai $8.7 billion, are among the wealthiest people in the world. As I told you, number 9 would be hell of an interesting point, so here it is, and it's polo with horses. The majesty and the opulence of polo matches on horseback immediately come to mind. It's been dubbed the sport of kings, and we couldn't agree more. Polo's age can be roughly estimated from the fact that it was invented when it was the Persian Empire, although equestrian polo's origins may be traced back to cavalry training. The sport quickly gained popularity and was adopted as Iran's national pastime. That's very forward thinking for that time. 2. Mixed teams would consist of both male and female athletes. The players must become experts of equitation and they can only use their right hand to strike the ball with the mallet. Number 10, well, there was no contest and you all were expecting golf. Golf has a reputation as a sport enjoyed primarily by the wealthy, and that's not likely to alter anytime soon. Despite golf's reputation as an elite activity best enjoyed at exclusive country clubs, it also provides an excellent setting for successful people to network with one another, share ideas, and plot out their futures. It goes without saying that the expense of the necessary equipment alone can run into the thousands each year, and that joining a prestigious golf club will put you back at least $10,000 annually. Not to mention the soothing nature of a solo round of golf with just you, your caddy, and the stunning scenery as you contemplate your next move.